So this is the HS80 Max from Corsair, a direct successor to their HS80 RGB with tons of added features and audio enhancements. To name a few, it boasts comparatively powerful EQ, customizable spatial audio, as well as a 2.4 GHz wireless connection with minimal amounts of latency. We've been rolling with this one for just about a month now, and we have so much to talk about, so let's just dive right in, shall we? First off, let's talk about its appearance. The HS80 Max looks like a close cousin to its predecessor, the HS80 RGB. The ear cups have that familiar boxy shape, and that suspended headband design we loved is still here. The flip-to-mute mic is back as well, making those mid-game communications a breeze. Although we have the classic black variant right here, there's a white variant that exudes a slightly more muted vibe. Now let's get to the flashy stuff, the lighting. They've placed RGB zones on each ear cup, giving us that customizable glow that's practically a must for any gaming setup, but there's more. The mic boasts an LED ring at the end, adding a touch of subtle yet premium flair. As for its build quality, we've got a mix of materials at play here. Most of the headset is crafted from durable plastic, while the headband and the attachment of the ear cups are made out of reinforced lightweight aluminum. This smart combo results in a headset that's not only durable but also lightweight, ensuring optimal levels of comfort. Talking about comfort, we had little to no complaints about it during our 1-month test drive. When we first put it on, we did notice a slight clamping force on the ears, but that suspended headband is like a little comfort magician. With just a simple adjustment, we could make it fit snugly without any discomfort. All we had to do was mess with the Velcro fastened end of the band, tweak it to our liking, and it became a perfect fit. Now let's talk about the real comfort MVPs, those soft, plushy ear pads. Seriously, these things felt really comfortable. We clocked in at around 352 grams of weight, and honestly, we barely noticed it. It's that sweet spot where you can game for hours without any discomfort, but here's a heads up. The headband is not adjustable in length, so if you've got a noggin on the larger side, you might want to keep this in mind. But here's the real game changer, the physical controls. We're talking about the buttons right there on the ear cups. On the left, there's the power button and a volume slider that's super easy to reach and use, and the right cup, that's where we found the Bluetooth button. Now, the mic control might be a bit of a surprise since we only needed to flip it up or down to mute and unmute. We also found a neat little trick hidden in that volume slider. When we pressed it, the iCUE software popped open, ready for us to tinker with EQ profiles. We'll talk in depth about these later on in the video. We even figured out how to bind it to some custom actions such as deafening our profile in Discord. Now let's talk features, and boy is there a lot to talk about. The low latency 2.4 GHz wireless connectivity was a notable aspect. It communicates via the provided dongle, and the latency was barely noticeable. In games like Apex Legends, the sound felt practical and the audio quality contributed to a more immersive experience. The most fun part was the Dolby Atmos spatial audio, where it provided a sense of directionality to the sound, which was particularly beneficial in games like Warzone and Valorant. We could better distinguish the positioning of sounds, which helped us anticipate enemy movements to a certain extent. It was a step up from our previous headset, as we could really tell the difference in game. The 50mm high-density neodymium speaker drivers did hold up to some extent. While playing Apex Legends, we could appreciate the audio nuances of the environment, such as the distant gunfire and the environmental sounds. Apart from its flip-to-mute functionality, we noticed plenty of perky features about the mic. This mic's omnidirectional design allowed us to speak naturally without worrying about positioning, and the dynamic range captured our voice with impressive clarity. But here's where things got interesting. As we have an RTX GPU, the AI-assisted NVIDIA broadcast mic enhancement worked like a charm. In Valorant, it effectively reduced background noise and echo. It was like having a noise-cancelling feature specifically for our voice. Here, listen for yourself. The sound you're hearing right now is coming directly from HS80 Max's mic while the NVIDIA broadcast is turned off. And this is what it sounds like when it's turned on. Now, this was the most fun part. We're talking about Sound ID, which precisely enabled us to tweak the headset's output according to our taste. As we often play open-world games such as The Witcher 3 and Red Dead Redemption 2, the immersion of sound is pretty important to us. All we had to do was download Sound ID in Corsair iCUE, test the headset as we heard fit, and the specific profile was ready. One thing that we noticed was the creator profile was universal, as we followed the enhancements throughout multiple games as well as music genres. By far, this was the coolest feature that we've got to experience. Now, apart from that, we could seamlessly create separate profiles in iQOO for FPS as well as those RPGs that we talked about earlier and instantly notice the difference. Besides, iQOO also had tons of customizable features for the lighting on each ear cup that we appreciated. This enabled us to synchronize the headset with the rest of our RGB components. Besides PC gaming, we have also paired up this headset with our PS5 using the same 2.5 GHz dongle. And just like the experience on PC, console gaming also felt quite immersive, and thanks to its built-in Bluetooth connectivity, we were also able to use it with our smartphone while on the go. As for the battery backup, we were quite happy with the HS80 Max. On a single charge, the headset lasted for about 2 days on 2.4G mode and about a week on Bluetooth mode. The status LED on the left ear cup came in handy to stay informed about the charging status, and when it turned red, we got to know it was time to plug in the charging cable. To sum things up, the HS80 Max did deliver what it promised. It brought a solid package of features to the table, enhancing both communication and gameplay that we became fond of. We're gonna keep it as our daily driver for plenty of time to come, and that concludes our review of the HS80 Max. Thanks for watching, and catch you guys on our next video.